some of my favorite definitions of love, and that'll set the tone for what we're doing today. So one of the words for love in the Greek language is agape. Agape. Agape means to let be. When you love someone, you let them be. When you love something, you let it be. As long as you're interfering with it, you don't really love it yet. You're judging it, trying to fix it, heal it, improve it, transform it, change it. But when you truly love someone or something, you can let it be. So one of the beautiful definitions of love is to let be. Where there's love, there's no judgment. Where there's judgment, there's no love. Another fantastic definition of love is to disappear in favor of the other. What does it mean? To disappear in favor of the other. So you actually cannot see anyone if you're also imagining yourself there. You have to momentarily disappear. You have to forget what you look like. You have to forget your own agenda. You have to even forget your thoughts about this person. And in that radical encounter, there's love. So in other words, you cannot see me right now if you're imagining yourself. You have to momentarily disappear to see me. You cannot hear me right now. If you're thinking about something else, you have to momentarily forget everything you've heard in your life in order to hear this right now, isn't it? So love is to disappear in favor of the other. And that other could be a mountain. That other could be a flower. That other could be a puppy dog. But at least for a moment, you completely disappear. Another wonderful definition of love. Yet another definition of love is a micro moment of connection. A micro moment of connection where you genuinely wish well. Where you experience positive emotion. Where you genuinely wish well. You have a sense of connection. And actually, love is beyond feelings and emotions. But yes, in a sense, it's approaching that love. And you have a sense of flow, a sense of affinity. So take any one of these definitions today. The first definition is to let be. The second definition is disappearing in favor of. The third definition is a micro moment of connection. Another really simple one is radiating good wishes, radiating blessings, infinite blessings. So with this foundation, we'll be exploring love and loving what arises, whatever comes up in our experience. We'll meet it with this attitude of love, which is an attitude of allowing, which is an attitude of welcoming, which is an attitude of non-judgment. which is an attitude of connection, sensing our underlying oneness. So whatever's coming up in your experience, just notice it. Could be at a sound level, could be at a feeling level, could be at a thought level. What's it like to meet that with love? This is also known as loving what is, loving what is, welcoming what is, embracing what is. And it doesn't have to feel any particular way. It just feels like what it feels like. Too often, love is associated with a particular feeling or emotion. But I like to think of it more like an attitude, more like a recognition of our underlying connection with anyone or anything or everything. At a being level, we're all connected, isn't it? And another beautiful way to proceed is to invoke love, even if you don't fully understand what does love mean. How do you practice love? Just invoke love, invite love into your field, into the field of your experience, the field of your awareness. And it's right there. Before you can complete that sentence, before you can complete that thought, it's already here. So you're invoking and inviting the mystery of love. It can never be fully grasped by our mind. The mind needs to surrender at the gate of love, at the threshold of love, at the feet of love. So, meeting every experience with love, so called outer experience, so called inner experience, meeting every experience with love. Even if you don't fully understand what love is, that's okay. Loving this and this and this and this and this. And before long, there'll be a touch of gentleness, a touch of softness, a touch of freshness that enters your experience. You're experiencing the presence of love. In these moments, I like to think it's not me who's chosen love, it's love that's chosen me. That really feels so beautiful, so effortless. And the amazing thing about this is we are relaxing our thirst for any specific experience. We're relaxing our thirst for any specific experience. Instead, we're loving this experience and this experience. So, a great deal of contentment and fulfillment is built into loving what is. It doesn't have to be a very special experience, but we are meeting this experience in a special way. And that special way is non comparison, non judgment, non resistance. There's something very complete about that. In its own way, it tends to deepen, widen, and settle. I find a lot of truth in the words of Rumi, who says that the only time wasted is when we are not loving. And one of the ways we've defined love is to let be. Let everything be. Let other people be. Let the world be. Let yourself be. Take a break from improving, fixing, changing, transforming. See things for what they are. Disappear in favor of the other. No reference points. And there's no reference point, then how can you say if anything is good or bad? Just is what it is. And if you're okay, I'd like to make our practice a little bit more tangible. I'm going to mention aspects of life that most of us have. And as soon as I mention them, something will come up within you, some thought, some memory. Just meet it with love. Invite love into the field. Let's see what happens. Your health. Your family. the place you live, your responsibilities or your work, your relationship with yourself, your thoughts about yourself. The state of your country, the state of the world, the state of the universe, life as it's unfolding in this moment. So, in today's practice, we've explored what it's like to love what arises. We explored a few different definitions of love: agape, to let be. When you love someone or something, you can let them be. Disappearing in favor of the other. Some of the most loving moments of your life have been when you've completely disappeared and there was just the other. No expectations, no disappointments, no narrative, no story. Just what is. The other could be a person, the other could be any experience. Love is disappearing in favor of the other. So, in that sense, love is like dying. People are not that far off when they say, I can die for you. What they really mean is, only in dying to all my ideas about you can I actually witness you. Otherwise, it's just an echo chamber of my thoughts. And love as a micro moment of connection. Actually, our thoughts separate us, disconnect us. At the level of being, we are already connected. On the surface of the ocean, there are countless waves. But just below that, there's nothing but oneness. So love is recognizing that oneness. And if you don't understand any of this, that's all right. Just invite love, invoke love. Invite and invoke the mystery of love and do it in your own way. Before you can even finish that thought, love is here. How do you know it's here? There's a touch of gentleness. There's a touch of openness. There's a touch of freshness. There's a luminosity. There's a non-fixation. There's a deep allowing. But of course, these are all words. It's okay not to describe it. But be open to the possibility that the only time wasted is when we are not in a state of love. And Hafiz says, very beautifully, he says, the subject tonight is love. The subject tonight is love, and for tomorrow night as well. In fact, I can think of no other topic for you and me to discuss until the day we die. The subject tonight is love. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Wonderful. You can take a moment to slowly emerge in your own way. Those of you who are feeling complete with the practice can leave the call if you want to stay on for a few minutes and interact a bit. That's also all right. I do want to share one thing, a little experience I had. I was practicing, I think about 15 years back, I was practicing in a monastery, and I was trying to do this love practice, this loving what is practice. And it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't working. So it was like all dry and nothing was happening. Wasn't able to access love. So in the evening, I was listening to a talk by one of my teachers. And he made a statement almost prophetically, almost as though it was a recorded talk, but still it seemed like it was almost meant for me. He said that when you're not able to love, then can you love your inability to love? I found that so powerful. When you're not able to love, can you love your inability to love? Or can you love your current ability to love? So maybe some of you have had very profound, ecstatic experiences, blissful experiences of oneness, of love at some point in your life. And that's wonderful. But it's also a problem because you'll keep trying to emulate that, replicate that, recreate that. And that creates resistance. That creates a new kind of judgment, comparison. So at different stages in your life, you will be more or less open, available. See, love is always here, actually. But how receptive are we? How open are we? How connected are we? How available, how accessible is it to us? That aperture might change. And can we love it for what it is? That for me was an amazing teaching, really unlocked something. And I'd like to offer that before we get into an interaction. So if anyone would like to say something or ask something, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Thanks, Brian.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Somi, go ahead.
Sir, my question is, if you love yourself, you can connect with God, God. So, sir, if we are surrounding with negative thoughts or toxic relationship, and how should I allow myself with myself?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that there is a toxic situation and it's a negative situation. But also notice that,
So,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
how should I love myself in that situation?
Yes, got it. Yeah. So we're not denying that sometimes it is pretty toxic, the people we are with, or the dynamic of the relationship or the situation we're in. We're not denying that. But we have to also notice that we're not completely victims. At some level, like chances are that person is not around you 24/7. Chances
Yeah,
are they're not constantly being negative and toxic, right? Maybe they did something earlier in the day or they did something yesterday or a month back. We are the ones who keep it alive. We are the ones who keep that going in our heads, right? Oh, they did that. Or what does it mean? Oh, I can't be myself. Or if I say that, they'll judge me. So we can't really control, at least not immediately. Maybe in the long run, you can change your situation. But immediately, we can't always control who's around us and what's happening around us.
yeah.
But what we can,
So,
what is in our hands is to, like we discovered today, just invite the presence of love. So in the middle of this toxic, difficult, negative situation, be here with me. I'm inviting the power of love, which is another way of saying the power of blessings, the power of grace, the power of God, whatever word you like, these are all words. And you will start to notice things start to change. Your thinking starts to change. Inner guidance
Yes,
starts to come. A kind of courage starts to come. You're able to stand up for yourself. You're able to set boundaries. You're able to say this works, this doesn't work. You're able to own your own part of it. Usually, it's not so simple that they're doing it to you. At some level, we are also participating. Usually, right? It's not to make ourselves wrong, but just to notice. It usually takes two to tango.
सर समटाइम इट्स मतलब ऐसे हो जाता है कि कभी उन लोगों को लगता है कि मैं डोमिनेट कर रही हूँ अगर मैं खुद
Okay.
के लिए कुछ कर रही हूँ सेल्फ लव के लिए कुछ कर रही हूँ तो लोगों को लगता है कि
वो तो
डोमिनेट
लगेगा.
कर रही है या
It's
उनकी
bound to
बातें अगर
happen.
नहीं मानी जाती है नहीं
Hmm.
मानी जाती अगर उनकी बातें नहीं मानी जाती है उनके अनुसार नहीं चला जाता है तो वो लव मेरे लिए खुद के लिए खत्म हो जाता है
वो तो होगा. See, आप mature कर रहे हो. So that's bound to happen whenever one person stands up for themselves. People are going to say, "What's wrong with you? You're being so selfish. You're being so dominating. How
यस
how how
यस
dare
यस
you?" And that's just the
यस
nature of it, right? That will always happen. Whenever one person changes, other people will resist it. And that's very good that, in fact, they should resist it. Otherwise, how do you know that you're really confident? How do you know you're based in your truth? So
सर
if you're still getting
और
shaken, then it's just an opportunity to go deeper, to get clear about.
एंड
See,
सर
when
मैं
you're
अगर
doing it,
अप,
बोलिए.
नहीं नहीं आप बोलिए सर
जब तक आपका resistance रहेगा और insistence रहेगा, just notice resistance, insistence. Then you're operating in the mind. But when it's just like this is the way it is, this is the way I am. I don't have to resist you. I don't have to insist. I don't have to prove anything. Then it's just
they
like
always they always wanted to change in मतलब wanted to change in my life
yes,
and मतलब वो चाहते कि मैं चेंज हो जाऊं उनको कुछ चेंज ना होना पड़े तो वो फिर मेरे लिए सेल्फ लव की जगह सेल्फ हार्म हो जाता है सर
thanks to
मेरे
them you're
थॉट्स मेरे
attending. Yeah. Thanks to such people, you're
या
attending a session like this.
यस सर
We think
यस
such people are
सर
against us, but because of this, you're contemplating what is love, what is God's will, what is my will, what does it mean to
यस
stand up for
यस
myself. So it looks like these people are against us, but actually, these people are part of our process. These people are part of our growth. And one day, honestly, Swami, you will bow down and say, some of my greatest teachers. Right now, it may be hard to say that, but it's going to happen. All of us will one day bow down to such
यस
people and say, "Wow, they were the greatest teachers. They didn't let me rest. They didn't let
नहीं
me."
सर ये एक्चुअली
हाँ बोलिए.
ना ये सर ये मैंने अपने आप में नोटिस किया है कि
हाँ.
ऐसे लोग मेरे लाइफ में हैं जिन्होंने मुझे इस लाइन में पहुंचाने के लिए मदद की है एक्चुअल में एंड आई एम थैंक
Yeah,
फ्रॉम बॉटम ऑफ माय हार्ट
that's all you have to
एंड
do.
थैंक
Just
यू
and
सर आप
just
लोगों का इतना गाइड इस
beautiful. Mm.
आप लोगों के
Good.
गाइडेंस से मैं इतनी पॉजिटिव फील करने लगी हूँ अभी इन कुछ दिनों में थैंक यू सो मच सर थैंक यू
Oh,
सो
wonderful.
मच
Lovely. This is the benefit of Sangha, the gathering of people who are align aligning themselves with awareness, with awakening. So beautiful. Thank you, Somi. Let's go to Shweta.
थैंक यू
Yeah.
सर
Thank you, Shweta. I can't hear you, Shweta.
I could easily invoke the feeling of love in whatever situation. Are you able to
Okay.
hear me?
Now I can. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I had a very blissful experience this evening.
Lovely.
Whatever you were trying to tell me in those situations, I was able to invoke the feeling of love.
Amazing.
But my question to you is in day to day life, how can we increase it further? How can we feel this? How can we create this feeling in every moment?
Right.
Maybe we are dealing with rude people, maybe we are dealing with insensitive people, and this happens in day to day life. So how
Definitely.
can we create that feeling?
True, true, true.
In that feeling, how can we say it's also love pouring in
Of
towards
course,
me?
of
How
course.
can we feel?
See, when you go to a gym, it would not be wise to pick up the heaviest weight on the first day. When you go to a gym, you usually want to start simple, start small, maybe even start below your full capacity, and then gently build up, right? So you're right. There are difficult people, there are troublesome people, and we'll get to them. What's the rush? You don't have to on day one. You don't have to take up the heaviest challenge. Start with simple things. In fact, when Dalai Lama came to the West, It is in traditional cultures, the way you practice what I've taught you, you start with yourself. And then you go to loved ones, and then you go to neutral ones, and then you go to the people you have most animosity towards. When the Dalai Lama went to the West and he said, start with yourself, he found that people couldn't start with themselves because most people in the West hate themselves. That's a hard word, but they dislike themselves, right? There's a strong judgment because there's such a lot of perfectionism sometimes. So he actually had to learn. He said, don't start with yourself. Start with a something you find easy to love, like a puppy dog or a baby or a flower, something which is very easy for you to love. Start there. And then go to a loved one, and then go to a neutral one, and then go to someone you hate and dislike, and then come to then come to yourself. Right. So we have to find, so I would say start with easy.
Okay,
Like
got
today
it.
you said, wow. In fact, it's amazing that I gave you so many different topics and almost of them you were able to align. Very good. Start there and just cultivate that, strengthen that. And naturally, you'll come to a phase where it doesn't matter. The rude person, you actually say, wow, this person is really suffering. For them to be so rude, they have to be so burning inside. They have to be so full of judgment inside. And it's not like you condone their actions, but you realize that, oh, it's coming from a place of great suffering. So you're able to hold your compassion as well as with wisdom. Yeah, there may be a place to set a boundary and say things and do things, but it's not coming from judgment. It's coming from love, right? But allow yourself to grow into that. You don't have to go there in day one.
Maybe it will take some time.
Yeah. In a way, it doesn't take time, but it looks like it takes time. But yes, we can grow into that. Yeah. Wonderful.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
nice. Thanks, Shweta. Wonderful. Good stuff. So thank you
Yes,
all
yes.
for
The
joining
question
today.
was just very.
And let's be quiet for a few seconds before we complete. And I'm inviting the presence of love to touch all of us, to be with all of us, and for us to be receptive of it. Let it fully permeate our energy field, our thought field, emotional field. May all of us be bright, clear channels of love, channels of blessing. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. All right. Thank you all for joining. Until next time.